What we're going to talk about today is investment when it comes to AI and robotics and why you should be part of this. You know, AI is here to stay. You know that robotics, if you've been in some of the major companies around, robotics is part of their life now. Robotics is not going away. Neither is AI. AI is going to be our future. And what I want to share with you is multiple ways that you can make money going forward and where to invest. Also, some detailed information I'm going to share, as you can see up on the screen right now, at least one company that has, I'm going to give you the ultimate information from Tesla. Let me start with a little intro and then we'll get into the sharing. Now, ChatGTP launched back in November of 2022. And in the last 3.5 years, we've seen a whole new wave of millionaires and billionaires, of people who got ahead of the AI wave. I missed out. I'm not going to miss out again. That's why I do some of these shows and give you and feed you with details of what's happened with me and how it's changed my life. If you can spend a little time with my channel, you'll go back and check out some of my different videos and you could see how things have changed. But getting into this one, it's about to happen again. But this time, it's not just AI. It's not just computers. It's not just asking a question and getting, a crazy answer that you'd never considered. It's a robot doing your work in the real world using AI. Now I get it. I'm just a random guy on YouTube, but stick with me and you'll see that I have some really good information. So, what do you know? Here's what the CEO of NVIDIA had to say. The GPT, sorry, my apologies, moment for general robotics is just around the corner and it's going to explode. Just like in the last year and a half or so with AI. I bet you don't go through the day without using AI. Now, it's interesting though, these robots already exist in multiple factories around the country, let alone around the world. And don't even consider China's not part of this. They're probably number one. Now, China has already deployed millions of robots to do the work that humans used to do. Here in the United States, we haven't seen that robot boom exactly because unless you work in that environment, you probably don't even hear about it. Amazon is one of them. They have multiple robots throughout their facilities. Now, it's been working in China because the Chinese government has been pumping huge sums of money into these robotic companies to keep them afloat. It took a while to get them going, but China knows, just like the United States knows, what is next. Now, it looks like that might be changing here in the United States. I mean, what we have here are non-sophisticated type robots. I mean, we've had robotic vacuums for your home, for your pools. We have multiple things, but a lot of people don't know about it. And we're going to go over them. But also, as an investor, number one, we're getting closer to profitability with robotics. We're not there yet, but number two, the Trump administration has been talking and putting billions of dollars into the robotic industry. That way we can continue to compete with China. We're not going to compete right away. But I think what we have in AI is a step above what other countries have. And I think we're at least equal with China. My opinion. Now, this is going to create a potential investment opportunity like none other. Could make sure you stick with me until the end so you can see all of the information that I have to give to you. And if you've been investing in anything and you've done well or you haven't done well, that's for another reason why you should stick with me. I am not a professional, but I have the details, and I think it's going to help you make a better decision before you invest. I'm going to share with you what you see on the screen right now. It may be something you already know, but I think there's going to be something there that you don't.
Ready to show off in Q1, probably February or March. Do Optimus 4, that'll be 10 million units. Optimus 5, maybe 50 to 100 million units.
Tesla just wrapped up its third quarter earnings call, and as many leaks had suggested, Elon Musk officially confirmed the launch timeline for the Tesla Bot Gen 3, the company's most advanced humanoid robot yet. He even hinted at development plans for future generations, Generation 4 and Generation 5. As you can imagine, that set off plenty of debate. Some people pointed out that the Gen 2 and even Gen 3 bots haven't really hit the market yet, and Musk is already promising about Gen 4 and 5. In response, Musk boldly claimed that he could command an entire army of the world's most advanced robots. Until the official launch, it's clear that the Tesla bot's abilities will go far beyond being just a household helper, cooking 3 meals a day, washing dishes, or cleaning the house. Right now, production versions of the Tesla bot are already hard at work in Tesla's factories, restaurants, and major company events, as well as at local gatherings. So, what exactly can the Tesla bot do so far? How different will the upcoming Gen 4 and Gen 5 models be compared to Gen 3? And could they actually threaten your job? Welcome to Tesla Car World.
We look forward to unveiling Optimus V3, probably in Q1. I think it'll be ready to show off. That I think is going to be quite remarkable. It won't even seem like a robot. It'll seem like a person in a robot suit, which is kind of how we started off with Optimus. But it'll seem so real that you'll need to poke it, I think, to believe that it's actually a robot.
During the third quarter earnings call, Elon Musk made several major announcements about the Tesla bot to win over shareholders and investors. He's betting Tesla's future on creating a humanoid robot capable of helping people with nearly every household task, from cooking and cleaning to childcare and other useful daily work. Musk has stated no fewer than 5 times that Optimus will become the best-selling product in Tesla's history. Right from the start of the call, the biggest highlight was his promise about the upcoming Optimus Gen 3, which, according to Musk, is expected to debut in the first quarter of next year. He hinted that this version of Optimus won't even look like a robot. Instead, it'll resemble a person wearing a robot suit, so realistic that you wouldn't need to touch it to believe it's actually a machine.
Alrighty guys, this is the before, and this is our customer system after. These new all-electric cold climate heat pumps are game changers. They'll heat your home even in freezing temp.
The new version of Optimus is expected to reach an unprecedented level of refinement, with a near-perfect design that completely conceals its wiring, actuators, and mechanical joints. Every detail has been meticulously fine-tuned to create a sleek, seamless appearance, making the robot look more like a living being than a machine. Elon Musk has hinted that the next generation Optimus will move with such natural, fluid, and flexible motion that it'll be almost impossible to tell it apart from a real human just by watching it. Several insider sources claim that the Tesla Bot Gen 3 will feature an OLED display built right into its face, allowing it to show more lifelike expressions. It's also rumored to come equipped with Grok, Tesla's AI system designed for natural, responsive communication. Most notably, the robot's hands are said to closely replicate the structure and movement of human hands with remarkable precision, unlocking massive potential for use in manufacturing, services, and everyday life. Although Elon Musk hasn't officially confirmed these rumors, he hasn't denied them either, leaving the tech community even more curious about what Tesla is secretly working on. According to Musk, what the public has seen so far is only Optimus 2.5. In fact, Optimus 2.5 has already made a strong impression with its remarkably fluid performance. During the premiere of Tron Ares, the robot showcased smooth kung fu movements so realistic that many people mistook it for a human actor in a robot suit. It even held a microphone to interact with the audience and served food at the Tesla diner, actions that require precise coordination of perception, control, and balance. While these demonstrations mark a major leap forward for Tesla, it's clear the company's ambitions go far beyond that. Musk has revealed plans to mass produce Optimus Gen 4 at a scale of up to 10 million units, and eventually Gen 5, with a staggering 100 million units in mind. Still, many observers remain skeptical, as the Optimus Gen 3 hasn't even made its market debut yet. Even so, excitement around Optimus Gen 3 shows no signs of slowing down. Many in the tech community believe this will mark a major breakthrough for Tesla in humanoid robotics, combining cutting-edge advancements in artificial intelligence, mechatronics, and aesthetic design. However, there are growing signs that the project may be running behind schedule. Originally, Optimus 3 was expected to be unveiled at a major Tesla event in November, but several sources now suggest the launch could be pushed back to the first quarter of next year. The main reason, reportedly, is that perfecting the robot's hands has proven to be far more technically challenging than anticipated. Even Elon Musk himself has openly admitted in a recent meeting that commercializing Optimus is an incredibly difficult task. He emphasized that the robot's hands and forearms are among its most complex components, requiring a delicate balance of precision engineering, tactile sensing, and advanced software control. According to Musk, building a hand that can move fluidly, sense objects, and manipulate them like a human one is an engineering feat as challenging as creating the rest of the robot combined. These very challenges are what make Optimus Gen 3 one of the most anticipated tech projects today, a milestone that could redefine the future of humanoid robotics in the age of artificial intelligence.
If Optimus, I think, probably achieve 5x the productivity of a person per year because it can operate 24/7. It doesn't even need to charge. It can operate it tethered, so it's plugged in the whole time.
During Tesla's latest financial results announcement, Elon Musk emphasized the enormous potential of the Optimus robot when compared to human labor. He noted that, in theory, a robot could work continuously 24 hours a day without needing rest, food, or sleep, all of which naturally limit human productivity. At that rate, each Optimus robot could reach around 8,760 working hours per year, while the average human worker puts in about 2,000 hours annually. This gap, Musk explained, is the basis for his claim that a robot's productivity could be up to 5 times higher than that of a person. However, he also acknowledged that this figure is only an estimate, as robots would still require regular maintenance to ensure consistent performance. One of Optimus's greatest strengths lies in its ability to maintain consistent performance, unaffected by psychological or physical factors. Humans often experience fatigue, stress, or a loss of focus after long hours of work, which can lead to mistakes and reduced productivity. Robots, on the other hand, can operate at a steady pace and quality throughout their entire working cycle. This opens up vast potential applications for Optimus across multiple industries, especially in fields that demand high precision and repetitive accuracy, such as healthcare and manufacturing. If deployed in the field of surgery, Optimus could maintain absolute precision in every movement, eliminating errors caused by hand fatigue or a surgeon's mental stress. In addition, the robot could handle routine medical support tasks such as moving patients in wheelchairs, transporting heavy equipment, disinfecting operating rooms, or dispensing medication. These are all time-consuming and physically demanding duties for humans, yet they perfectly align with a robot's endurance and precision capabilities. Moreover, the continuous connectivity Elon Musk has mentioned allows Optimus to learn and optimize its performance over time. Each robot doesn't just operate independently. It can also share data and experiences with others through a networked system, forming a kind of collective artificial intelligence that
So at least you get the gist about what is out there and what could possibly be here within the next couple 3 years, right? So now, just so we're on the same page, the whole idea behind robotics is we build this robot that has AI as its brain. Well, not we, but they. That way it could do everything that a human does. Now, what does that really mean? Exactly. Well, according to MIT, we're 5 years away from a robot being able to fold your clothes. I think we're closer than that. If anything of what I just showed you is true, you could see that obviously it's an AI generated video clip, but you could see that the movement of these are definitely not 5 years away. And do you think they can cook for you? I think in the future they're going to be able to do that, and I don't think it's 5 years away. The way you never have to do it again, that would be just amazing. You come home, everything's done for you. Cooking, cleaning, the house is fine. Maybe even they watch your kids. I don't know if that's something you'd want to do, but it might be a possibility for our future. Now, that way, you never have to do it again. It sounds crazy, but every new invention sounds a little crazy at first, right? Now, when Amazon started selling stuff on the internet, people thought it was insane. Sitting in his I think it was his garage, right? On his computer, Bezos used to sell a lot of computer books to computer nerds. These days, the Amazon goes everywhere. When credit cards let you buy a lunch for swiping a piece of plastic instead of paying cash, people laughed. They thought it was hilarious that we're not going to use cash. That might be closer than you think. Now, the home of the Whopper is offering cash or credit. That was, what was it, in the maybe 70s, 80s, I think, is for the first time use of credit cards. You go out for fast food for something as little as, back then, maybe $2-3 for a meal. So if you use your credit card, say your GM credit card, I get $5 rebate. If I eat here at, say, Burger King long enough, I can buy a pickup. Burger King bosses say workers won't have to figure out how much change to give back to the customers. It's kind of going to dumb people down. You know, some young kid gets his first job, doesn't have to count change back. It's kind of dumbing you down a little bit. I just hope it doesn't slow things down at the cash, as a cash and carry type thing. And that's what they were saying back then. They were concerned about slowing the process. When it's called a fast food restaurant, you want the food handed off to the customer, the payment made, and they're out the door. I mean, this was also, I believe, before first drive-thrus, I think. Now, these are robots that can work in factories and build your car more precise, less issues, less conflicts. Maybe there won't be fights with different employees. There's all kinds of benefits. But there's also people like you and me that may not have jobs. Now, these robots can be built for multiple things. They might be even doing your neck surgery. Can you imagine your son or daughter going in for getting their tonsils out? And it's kind of scary until someone else's kid does it multiple times, hundreds of times with no failures. But until that happens and becomes a routine, I don't know if I want one inside me. Now, these are robots that can hopefully do some tedious things, you know, cleaning, cooking, and do it efficiently and a good job. And they know they did it, that they actually did a good job. Now, we have the United States government, more specifically the Trump administration, that is putting billions of dollars into this industry, which is new, which could change the trajectory of how robots are built. Just take a look. I recently went to San Francisco, and I think they're called Wymos, or driverless cars, that are kind of like an Uber, but no one's driving it. I was a little nervous about it. I wasn't going to get in the back seat, but I did talk to people that were getting out of these things, and they were a little nervous at first, but they did it for several times. I talked to a few families. It was very interesting, but I'm not ready to pull the trigger. But it sounds like they're not getting in accidents on a regular basis. Now, instead of having a driver, the car drives itself, and to see how much that this driverless car business has been growing, by mid 2023, the Wymos was doing about 10,000 driverless cars a week. By the end of 2025, it's doing 450,000 driverless drives a week. So more or less, passengers jumping in, jumping out, 450,000 a week, which is growing by 45 times in just 2.5 years, which can also take a look at Amazon. Back in 2019, Amazon had about 200,000 robots working in their warehouses and factories. Fast forward to 2025, and they have a little bit over 1 million robots working in their warehouses. So over the past few years, we've seen a big growth in robots alone here in the United States. Now, AI is generating how these robots operate. More or less, it's more or less their brain. But we're still way behind China, who has the government subsidies of these robotic companies. And it looks like that's going to be changing here in the United States. Trump administration has been very vocal about AI. Well, towards the end of 2025, the Trump administration said that they want to go all in on robotics as well. Now, that can include robots that are fighting in the military. It definitely can. Are we anywhere near that? Well, with what we're being told, no. But there's always something going on in the military that we do not know about. Look at the advancements in airplanes and weapons, tanks. We didn't know about those until probably multiple years after they came out. Now, I'm sure they've been flying the newest planes for several years before they even said, oh, hey, we've got a new plane. Yeah, okay. Now, it's going to create a new shift in our economy. It's going to change wealth, and it's going to mean that money is going to change hands again. That could be you or me. Depends on how we play it. Now, see my disclaimer in the description below, but I am not a professional. I am just bringing you some details that are really interesting to me. And I think if you were to get into this, you need to see and discuss it with real professionals. But take this information because they might not know about it either. Leave a comment in the comment section where you're watching from. Now, building wealth for themselves, because no one's just going to throw it at us. When we talk about AI and robotics, there's an inherent conflict in the economy because of one hand. President Trump says that he wants to bring more manufacturing back to the United States. But on the other hand, he wants to really invest in robotics. And if we do well with robotics, the reality is you probably don't need any people to work in those factories that we're bringing back into the United States. So that's something you want to pay attention to from the economical level. So do you want to jump on and try to find ways to make money before that happens? Well, how about using this information, AI and robotics, to make your money now? So, but building robots will create jobs, yes, at least for the short term. They'll probably be building themselves after a while. But the question is, how many jobs will it create relative to the ones it displaces? And this is why it is important for you to understand how technology is going to change our economy, because our economy is changing very fast due to technology. And we just need to keep up on what's going on. Now, it's changing fast at a rate that we've never seen before, because the internet took decades to change our economy. Chad GPT has only been in existence for 3.5 years, and it's already revolutionizing our economy. And we know that it's going to change our economy even more over the next 5 years. It's going to be something that we don't even recognize in 5 years, I believe. The thing is that it's going to enter our economy is going to be 100% robotics. And that is going to create a whole new wave, a whole new shift in our economy. And again, that's going to create wealth for the people that understand this and can get ahead of it right now. Which is why this is important, and for you to do something like this. You don't have to do this, but maybe this is something that you can get into. And I'm going to give you how to get into this in just a few minutes. So stick with me. If you're not studying this technology, I don't care what you do for a career or work. I mean, from what I did, I still do, heavy equipment mechanic. I recommend you do so to help build your job security, whether it be at work or in your own mindset. Why should you have to work if you don't have to? And this might get you to that place. Then also you can understand how you can find and build investment opportunities through this shift. The possibility is endless. Which brings me now to how does this all create an investment opportunity, and where can you potentially invest your money? Now, I'm just a random guy again on YouTube. Investing has risks. You are never guaranteed to make money when you invest. In fact, you will probably lose some money at some point, but you could possibly make a lot of money. So make sure you always do your own due diligence and never blindly trust a guy like me on YouTube. But maybe, just maybe, I have something that you could take from this video and do something with. And I'm really positive on what is going on in our future. Now, I'm going to go over some specific examples, but never invest more than you are willing to lose. And this is what I'm going to be talking about. Let's see. So not just because the government is putting money into this industry, but because we're starting to see more discussions with the White House and leaders in robotics about passing and potentially giving tax incentives to factories that don't employ people that do their work through robots. And finally, number 3 is R&D, which is essentially the Trump administration wants the United States to boost their input in robotics, which means that could be robots in every single industry. And so we're starting to see more money go into the industry, and well, from the government, that you understand is a huge potential. Let's see, there's a chance that it doesn't work. There is a small chance. There's always a chance. But we've always gone forward. There's very few times in life that we've gone backwards. Now, if you do believe in the future of robotics as a long-term investor, well, then this can create opportunities for you. But again, it's risky. So let's break it down. Section number 1 would be investing directly into the broad robotics space. And there are ETFs, which are funds, that basket of stocks that can give you exposure to robotic companies. Again, for some of these robotic companies are going to go bankrupt because it's just the way of life. It's how business is. And if you're not good at it, you fail. And that includes these companies. So some of them are not going to work, but some of them may. And when you invest in ETFs, you're getting a broad exposure to that industry. You're not just going one and put it in your basket. You get multiple. Now, for example, number 1 is BOTZ, B-O-T-Z, BOTZ. This is an ETF that's giving exposure to 50 plus stocks in robotics and automation, autonomous vehicles, like we talked about in San Francisco. Example number 2, RoboRO. This is another ETF, also giving you a broad exposure to the robotic industry. This ETF is giving exposure to a little more stocks, say about 77. This is giving you being more diversified, including some small caps, some mid cap stocks, all across the automation spectrum. Or you see that the biggest opportunity in the military side, because the government wants to invest more autonomously in military equipment, more autonomous drones and other things like that. There are ETFs that can give exposure to the defensive sector, which will include some of these new robotic companies as well. Example number 1 is ITA. It's an ETF that gives exposure to aerospace and defense companies here in the United States. So you're getting direct exposure to the United States government, investing money into military robotics. And then example number 2 in PPA. This one is a little bit more broad than the ITA. This one is investing in more companies, more stocks, but this ETF is giving exposure to the full defense supply chain. Then we have the more broad side, which is the manufacturing side of things. Which is the manufacturing? Well, it's if you believe that we're going to bring more manufacturing back to the United States, in theory, these manufacturing plants and companies should be able to make more money if they can operate within the robots instead of people. And there are ETFs that can give you exposure to the manufacturing industry. Now, for example, XLI. This is an ETF that's going to give you exposure to aerospace, defense, and industrial companies, giving you a broad exposure to manufacturing that is happening here in the United States. And the last but not least is the AI infrastructure side. Because the robotics to work, you need the infrastructure in AI. I'm not talking about the AI brain. I'm talking about the backbone of AI, that regardless of who wins the AI race, you need the infrastructure to actually run and work the AI system. Here are a few different examples. Number 1 is Cat Chat. This is an ETF that's giving exposure to generative AI and technology companies. But then we have DTCR. This is an ETF that gives exposure to the data centers, because now anytime you ask a question to Chat GPT or Claude or whatever, all of the information that has to be stored somewhere, and the place that is stored is in a cloud. Well, the cloud isn't in the sky, obviously. It's in a physical building called a data center. And if you start to build more robotics, more robots, well, that's going to be more data that has to be stored somewhere. And that's where the data centers could benefit. And then we have SOX, SOXX. This is an ETF that's given exposure to the semiconductors because you need these chips as the hardware side of every single robot. Now you need chips as the hardware to build any sort of AI. So regardless of who wins the race, this is the backbone of something you need to fit into the work. Again, the whole robotic industry could completely fail. But come on, we always progress. Sometimes we take longer to do it, especially than other countries, such as China. I don't think this country is going to step back. We are on the path to blow everybody, all the different any other country out of the water with technology. This is what this administration has set its sights on. I don't care if it's AI. I don't care if it's robotics. How about crypto? We are going to be number one in every aspect, in my opinion. Now, so we talk about in this video is how robotics is entering a new wave here in the United States. We're already seeing a big growth of robotics over the last few years, but we haven't seen a big explosion the way that we saw with AI. Chat GPT, well, looks like we could be getting closer. Number one, because China has been beating the United States like a little redheaded stepchild. We know the United States wants to be more competitive with China and to beat China. And now we were getting closer to profitability with robotics. Not only can we expect to see more robots to be entering our economy over the next 5 to 10 years, but I do believe it's going to be sooner. The United States government has also been committing billions of dollars into robots, whether it's for military, whether it's for manufacturing, whether it's for R&D, which can create new and unique investment opportunities. And that's why I'm bringing this out. Usually I talk about silver, but I'm thinking this could help silver as well, gold, platinum, because guess what? It's electronics. It will push silver prices higher. Look what's happened over the last several years. A deficit of silver every year versus the amount of silver needed has, I think, helped push the price to $85 or right around that of what it was before I came on and did this show. So silver is going to be increasing along with gold, along with copper. All of those three types of metals are definitely going to be needed in robots. And if there's that many robots out there, that is just crazy. What it means is that if the industry continues to grow, we could see more growth in these investments as well. Silver, gold, copper, along with robots, AI. We are going to be seeing some craziness, I do believe. Let me know what you think. I would like to know what you believe in. And if this sounds like a good investment, leave it in the comment section. So try to have a great rest of your day. And I do appreciate you stopping in. It's getting harder and harder to see people in here, and sharing their opinions. So whatever you can do for me, I do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. Hit the bell notification for all so you can see anytime that I come on and do a show. Have a great rest of your day. God bless.